In today's lesson, we're going to use the bus stop method to calculate this division. The first thing we must always do whenever dealing with a division is to write multiples of the division that you're dividing by. So here we're dividing by 7. So we've got at least 9 multiples of 7. So 7, 14, 21, 28, etc., etc. The next thing we do is we put the decimal point at the end of the number. Okay, so that shows that anything after that point is going to be fractional. So the decimal point is the end of the whole numbers. When we're dividing, we've got to remember we are dividing by that number on the outside of the shelter. So the first thing we're going to do is work out how many groups of 7 there are in 4. Well, 7's too big, and so we're going to put 0 here. But we're going to carry this 4 because we haven't really used it. So we're going to carry this to the next column. And then we're going to ask ourselves how many groups of 7 there are in 43. Now, this is where the times table on the right hand side comes into its own, because we can see that 43 isn't in the 7 times table, but the nearest to it without going over is 42. And so what we do is we count how many groups of 7 are in 42 and what's left over. The number of groups uh, is reported at the top of the bus stop, and what's left over is reported at the bottom. So let's have a look. How many 7s in 43? Well, look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 whole groups of 7, and then there's 1 left over. And now, because that 1 is smaller than the 7 it's going to be divided by, we add a 0 to it. And then we ask ourselves how many groups of 7 are in 10. And then again, what's left over? Well, there's 1 group of 7 in 10, and there's 3 left over. So I'll put the 3 there. And again, because the 3 is smaller than the 7, I will add a 0. Then finally, I ask myself, how many groups of 7 are in 30? Well, let's look at the nearest number to 30 without going over. Well, it's 28, isn't it? So let's count how many groups of 7 make 28. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we have the answer, 6.14.